Have you ever wondered that the boy who watched his father pull a rickshaw every single day could one day sit on the chair of a government officer? Yes, this is the story of that same boy who turned the dust of struggle into the shine of his dreams. His name was Arav, the son of a poor rickshaw puller, but the owner of a dream bigger than his circumstances, to become an officer. Every morning at 5 a.m., Arav would wake up to the sound of his father oiling the rickshaw chain. Cold air, dim light, and his father's tired hands. Arav would look at them and whisper to himself, "One day, these hands won't pull a rickshaw, they'll hold books." He studied in a small government school. When other kids brought bread butter in their tiffins, he unwrapped a dry roti folded in newspaper. Whenever the teacher asked, "Son, what do you want to be when you grow up?" everyone laughed when he said quietly, "Sir, I want to be an officer." The teacher smiled and said, "Your dream is big, Arav, but now you'll have to give up sleep too." That day, Arav made himself a promise. No matter what, he would study. Every evening, he worked at a tea stall. At night, when he returned home, he pulled out old books kept under the rickshaw and studied under the street light. When the power went out, he lit a candle. When hunger struck, he drank water. But the fire of his dream, he never let it fade. "Son, stop studying now. Help with the rickshaw." Arav would lower his head and say, "Just give me a little more time, Papa, please." Days turned into months. His father's age and illness both grew. One day he collapsed. The hands that once pulled a rickshaw now trembled in weakness. The money stopped coming in. Expenses kept rising. Arav stood at a crossroads. Either give up studies and pull the rickshaw himself, or keep fighting for his dreams even through the pain. He chose the second path. Morning, he pulled the rickshaw. Afternoon, he helped at the tea stall. Night, when the city slept, he opened his books again. People mocked him. "Hey, the rickshaw puller's son wants to be an officer." He just smiled and said, "Yes, one day I will be." Poverty didn't break him, it shaped him. Every failure whispered to him, "This is not the last time, the next one will be." Years passed. He studied harder. He failed several times. His tears fell on his books, but he never gave up. And then, one morning, the newspaper headline changed everything. The whole neighborhood gathered outside his small house. His father's eyes filled with tears. Arav held his hand and said, "Papa, this rickshaw won't run anymore. From now on, you'll ride in a government car." That moment wasn't just his victory. It was the victory of every poor child who refuses to give up. A few months later, in an interview, a journalist asked, "Sir, despite such poverty, why didn't you give up?" Arav smiled and said, "Because poverty didn't teach me to fear, it taught me to fight." That one line became a message for the entire nation. Real strength doesn't come from what you have, it comes from what you overcome. Today, Arav sponsors the education of poor children in his town. Every year, he takes a photo sitting on his father's old rickshaw. He says, "This rickshaw isn't my weakness, it's my inspiration." That rickshaw still stands outside his house, not covered in dust anymore. On it, a small sign is painted. Where there is a will, there is a way. And that, my friends, is the truth of life. Just because someone's father pulls a rickshaw doesn't mean the sun can't fly. Your situation doesn't decide your future, your decisions do. If Arav can do it, why can't you? You have the same fire within you. You just need the courage to light it. And if ever you feel the world is against you, just remember, never think of yourself as weak. Because every person who rises from the bottom reaches the top one day. If Arav's story touched your heart,